difficult times for Liverpool then. They've now lost 4 consecutive matches across all competitions for the first time since November 2014, with Slot's side losing 3 Premier League games in a row for the first time since February 2021. And since the beginning of May, Liverpool have conceded 2 or more goals in more Premier League games than any other side, doing so in 8 of their 12 league matches. And Mohamed Salah has gone 7 consecutive Premier League appearances without scoring a non-penalty goal for the very first time in his Liverpool career.
We create more and more. This happened against Palace, happened against Chelsea, happened today. This also has to do with the changes we've made, but also with the effort we put in the first half.
Any concerns over the run of results, or is it just something that you know will be rectified?
No, of course, concerns if you win. If you lose 4 times in a row, you need to be concerned because you know how it works in football. If we can keep bringing these performances in, we will have a fair chance of winning more football games. And if we can do a few things a little bit better, we would even have a better chance of winning a game of football. But
what do you think? Is it time to start managing his career?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Jurgen Klopp did it a couple of times. He didn't like it when he took him off. I remember at West Ham one day, and there was a few words crossed between the two of them. So it has happened even a few years ago. So it's not anything new. I mean, do I look at him and think that he's a different player right now? I think last year he was so good early in the season, but there seemed to be a drop-off. His form, his confidence is low. He's not looking the same player right now. But when you talk about like world-class players, and I know he's obviously playing a totally different league, but you still have to bring him up. He's Ronaldo and the age he's still at. Now, these are great players and he's so fit. I still think he's got a lot more to offer.
So Liverpool have got 2 away games, one in the Champions League in Frankfurt, and then they go to Brentford. I don't think Mo Salah should start both of those games. He should always be starting at Anfield because Liverpool are going to be on top, be around the edge of the box, and more often than not, he scores in those situations today. But I do think with away games and helping your right full-back as well, I don't think Mo Salah should be starting every game right now, certainly away from home, with the form that he's in.
Was he on the bench for the Galatasaray game in Europe?
Yeah, and I think we'll see that a little bit more going forward. Because he's not playing that well.
The interesting thing is, obviously, there's questions are being asked about him, whether it's his age, whether it's his 1 season too many, all the other stuff. What you notice is the physical decline. And I'm not seeing a physical decline in him in respect of sort of like some of his sprints look quite sharp. He looks busy in the box. But just like crazy things like the ball comes to the back post, his technique on his kicking and his sort of crossing, that's the thing that looks well off. So you look, there's a couple of moments there at the back post where you think to yourself, that's not Mo Salah. He had that chance where he sort of dragged it really uglily, like, to the left of the post. You think that's just his technique. That Mo Salah could probably play when he's 52 and still have a good technique. So that's the bit that's surprising me, is the technical bit.
I think it's
the technical decline that we're seeing.
Yeah. But I do think with away games and helping your right full-back as well, I don't think Mo Salah should be starting every game right now, certainly away from home, with the form that he's in. Yeah. And I think we'll see that a little bit more going forward. Because he's not playing that well.
Will he be okay with that, or is he type to spit his dummy out? Or?
I wouldn't imagine we're not all great with being on the bench, but I think when you get to a certain age as well, I think we all have to understand that as well, and especially when you're not playing well. Where's your argument? I don't think Mo Salah's in any position, to complain if he was left out of one of the next 2 away games. But I do think always play him at home. But I think right now playing him away from home in every game, I think the manager should look at maybe something slightly different in terms of Frimpong.
His form, his confidence is low. He's not looking the same player right now.
Mo Salah has declined physically in terms of
when he first came. It's the technical decline that we're seeing.
Yeah, but what I would say is,
problems.
No, I agree. But even when Mo Salah's been at his absolute best, he can have games where he looks technically poor. He can just. He's one of those players who at times you think for such a great player, sometimes the performances, and this is not this season, this is over his time for Liverpool. We all know as Liverpool fans, and you put up with it because you think he'll score 2 in a couple of weeks. He goes through these little runs. Now, when he first came in, he had blistering pace, him and Arne. That's not there so much. But he still had a sharpness about him. I'm not quite sure that sharpness is still there.
He's just having a bit of a bad time, and it's like everybody else in this team. So it's very easy to look at all the different players. There's not one player that I would say, they're at the level they were last year at the moment. And that's what's making it really difficult, not just for the manager, but also for the team.
There's lots of dynamics going on with the attacking players and who aren't on great form and new players settle in. But that's where you go back to basics and start going, at least be harder to beat. Let's attack and defend as a team. just looks a bit disjointed.
Salah, the interesting thing is obviously there's questions are being asked about him, whether it's his age, whether it's his one season too many, all the other stuff. But the strange thing in watching Salah is usually when a player is sort of getting to the... Usually a player getting towards the end of his career, what you notice is the physical decline. And I'm not seeing a physical decline in him in respect of sort of like some of his sprints look quite sharp.
Listen, I said a few weeks ago, maybe for Florian Wirtz, he's found it tough to get up to the speed of the Premier. It's not just about the goals and assists. Obviously, we know he hasn't got one yet, but it can be in general play as well. And we know there's a different physicality in the Premier League to the Bundesliga. And yes, and I heard Jamie say before the game, and plenty of people doing the right to say, oh, it's too early to judge. And of course, as you've just said, 7 or 8 games. But I mean, is there a certain game where it's okay? What do we have to get to? 15, 20? What I'm saying is, it's like, you've got to... I'm not expecting to see the Bayer Leverkusen Florian Wirtz in the first 7 games, but I'm expecting to see him
improve.
Just little glimpses where you think, okay, he can get there. We haven't seen much at all, really. And with Isak, as I say, he's got to score that chance.
Isak, I'm not worried about, as Jamie says. He's played in this league for the last few years. He's going to be comfortable, but there isn't that impression when you play for Liverpool.
It sort of brings me back to something you said before the game, Jamie, which is that when Mo Salah isn't playing well, Liverpool are maybe having to have someone else as their star player. However, is that an Isak? Is that a Florian else? They're now looking for a different... pivotal player in that starting lineup. Who do you think that the future player that Liverpool build their team around is?
Well, it has to be Isak and Wirtz because they've spent the money on them, and their age profile compared to Mo Salah.